The Warriors dominate the second half of Game 4 to even the series, heading back to Golden State. Now, there's a reason I had the Warriors winning in 6. Well, not really in 6, but there's a reason I had the Warriors winning the series. I believe that the Warriors' experience would outplay Boston, and the way that they play, it would be really hard to defend from Boston's standpoint. But Boston is just very injury prone. I genuinely believe that Boston could lose this series just because of injuries. Boston could still very well win this series and they have a big chance, but seeing Tatum and Brown like pop their shoulder out or what it looks to be, and seeing guys like Robert Williams keep limping, it's just really annoying that Boston in the playoffs is injured every year. There's always some important guy on their team that is injured for Boston. Every playoff run. It's kind of crazy, but it's really hard to judge Boston's play when all their main guys are injured or their lineups are too inconsistent. And this game, I wouldn't say this game the Celtics played horrible. Well, I mean, they only scored 97 points, but the Warriors only scored 10 points over that. But I wouldn't say they played horrible, but it's like when somebody like Stephen Curry drops 43 points, it's like, what really can you do? Now in this game, the Celtics role players stepped up a little bit more. Guys like Derek White and Robert Williams. Defensively, they were all really good, but it's the stars player like Tatum and Brown. I've said this multiple times in previous videos. They have an issue with trying to force themselves through double teams to look for fouls, and it's really annoying. Ime Udoka said in his post-game press conference that he believes that Tatum isn't actually taking shots, but he's trying to hunt for fouls. And you clearly saw that today. He has 6 turnovers in this game. That is unacceptable. He is the main guy on the team. He cannot have 6 turnovers. And same goes for Brown. Brown tends to have a lot of turnovers. They force themselves into double teams, and it's easily stripped. Now, early on, Boston defensively was playing pretty well. Even though both teams were neck and neck, Boston, you could definitely tell their defensive scheme was getting to the Warriors. Robert Williams was blocking a lot of shots. They forced a lot of turnovers, and they were capitalizing on the shots that they got. They were really good defensively and getting in transition against the Warriors. But the main issue in the first half, and mainly throughout most of the game, was that they were very careless offensively, which led to turnovers. And even though Boston is very good with their transition defense, the Warriors are an elite transition team. It's not any other team. You're in the finals. The Warriors are an elite transition team. Now, in terms of Boston's perspective, they didn't play horrible, but their offensive scheme was a lot different from the games that they won. They didn't swing the ball as much. And like I said in previous videos, the Celtics live and die by the 3. I remember they had a chance in the fourth quarter to potentially take the lead, and the Warriors, with one more foul, they would be in the penalty, but they kept trying to swing the ball to the perimeter to look for a 3-point shot when it was unnecessary. That you can't do that. Like, it's late in the game, you have a chance to take the lead, go inside and get fouled, and everybody knows that Boston could do that. Boston also has a weird issue with missing a lot of free throws. A lot of guys on their team can't consistently make 2 free throws. Boston was also getting killed on the rebounds. The Warriors had 55 rebounds to Boston's 42. And like, Boston really in reality only has like one guy actually in the paint boxing out, rebounding. It's mainly Robert Williams. Everybody else is not consistent enough with boxing out. They just wait for the ball to come down and to get the rebound. And the Warriors are very good with second chance points. Since Boston lives and dies by the 3, it won't work against the Warriors because the Warriors also live and die by the 3, and they're a better 3-point shooting team. They're more experienced. They really have to change things up. And hopefully a lot of their guys aren't injured. I saw Draymond kind of elbow Brown a little bit in the shoulder, and he was limping as well. So hopefully Boston can stay healthy for Game 5. I also remember seeing a report that said that Jason Tatum's arm, like his shoulder that flared up in the Heat series, is actually a pretty serious injury. So that could be another an issue for Boston Hopefully, it's not a serious injury. We never want to see injury. Hopefully, Tatum can play. Curry's also had an injury, I'm pretty sure, with his knee. I kind of forgot what it was, but, I mean, 43 points. He doesn't really look injured. From the Warriors side, well, besides Stephen Curry, Wiggins, Clay, Jordan Poole, guys, their role players really stepped up, even defensively. Wiggins was very good early on. He was hitting his shots. Wiggins had 16 rebounds. Damn, I'm just looking at it right now. I didn't even know he had 16 rebounds. But that's crazy. He played really good. Poole was a great bench piece. And all of that combined with Curry's elite three-point shooting and his ability to move off the ball helped the Warriors win this game. In this game as well, I'm pretty sure they started Otto Porter Jr. I think in previous games they started Kevon Looney. I think they wanted more like spacing on the floor with shooting, but Otto Porter also has like a small injury and he only played 15 minutes. And Kevon Looney was great off the bench grabbing rebounds. He had 4 offensive rebounds, 11 in total rebounds. He was really good. Draymond, I don't know how to explain Draymond. Draymond is like, he needs to play better, but it's like he's not an offensive player. So, like, when his guys are not hitting shots, like Curry and Clay or Poole, it's like you want him to, like, be more aggressive to score, but it's like that's not his game, and he's not really that good at it. I mean, in his prime, he was very good at he could score if he wanted to at will, but it's just a really weird situation with Draymond. Overall, this has been a pretty back and forth series. This game, there hasn't really been a really close game so far. I think towards the end in the fourth quarter, one team usually just pulls away, and it's usually just a team who's like more on fire. But hopefully in game 5, Boston is fully healthy, which I don't expect them to be, but hopefully all their players can play. And same thing for the Warriors. Nobody wants an injury. Hopefully this is a good series, and we head back to the San Francisco for game 5.